No flavor, notes, no review, just a bit of insight in this video. Not bad. Not bad at all. Actually, pretty fucking good. Anyways, in case you wanted to know, this is a Drew Estate cigar. It is from their budget line. I don't know exactly which one it is because it's from an order that got messed up, and there's a whole other video about that. Search it in my my videos if you want. That's a video where I talk about the value of brick and mortar cigar shops. What I'm going to talk to you about in the next few minutes is diminishing returns. First, I just want to... There's no oil coming off the bottom of that, which is nice for a cheap cigar. A lot of cheap cigars, you get nasty oil coming out the back end of it. Yeah, there's definitely a diminishing return in the market of cigars, like there is in any market. Some whiskeys that are $1,000 that get destroyed by whiskeys that are less than $100, right? When it comes to cigars, it's the same damn thing. I'm about to talk shit about a brand. It ain't the brand that I'm smoking right now. Drew Estate's actually, so far so good. The few I've had from Drew Estate's pretty impressive. I'm going to talk a bit of shit about Romeo y Julieta. Yeah, I got some experience with that brand. They were one of my earliest entries into Cuban cigars. I smoked a fair bit of them every time, and I mean every time. Kind of a disappointment because their quality of construction, in my experience, hasn't been good. And I've even had the ones that come in like the little glass tube, you know, perfectly preserved, always unwrapping mid-cigar, falling apart, the wrappers are cracked, the draws are tight or the draw's too loose, doesn't stay lit, doesn't burn even. This thing's been burning super even. And yeah, again, somewhere between $5 and $7 I paid for this cigar, like fucking crazy. It is amazing when you get a cheap cigar and it performs well. You want to remember those brands, that's for sure. Back to Romeo y Julieta. This is the one when I was a young kid, before I smoked cigars, but when I was trying to give someone a cigar as a gift, I would go out and buy them because everyone would say it's a great brand. Frankly, if you're going to spend the money on Cuban, I'm going to say Monte Cristo. I'm going to say H. Upmann, for sure. H. Upmann by far. Best Cuban cigars I've had are H. Upmann. There's a bumblebee. Oh, I hope you get fed there, bud. Anyways, diminishing returns on cigars. Romeo y Julieta, bad experiences would be. I've had Cohiba Behique. Now that stuff is far beyond my price range, and I have to say, Cohiba is okay. And I've had the Behique, and people pay in Canada $120 for those. I don't think it's worth it myself. Go way down to like a Drew Estates. I think it's called a B52. Is the size. I can't remember exactly which one I had, and it'll blow that Cohiba out of the ground, at least according to my flavor profile. But I don't like Cuban cigars that much. And in terms of Cuban cigars, I tend to like cheap Cubans. Jose El Piedra, you know, $7 at my tobacconist. It's a good cigar. But you certainly can spend a lot of money on a cigar and not get a great experience out of it. And that's unfortunate. Now you ain't gonna know until you've tried, though. This is where it's helpful to have a wealthy friend. You probably should be networking to get some wealthy friends. who are very giving with their tobacco products, because that might be the best way to experience some really high-end cigars. I kind of have a rule. You shouldn't spend more on a cigar than you make in an hour. If you're making $19 an hour, most expensive cigar you should buy is maybe 19 bucks. Now I've gone above that for special occasions, and that's a whole different animal. Special occasions, if you got the money, go all out. Especially if you know it's the kind of thing that's going to make memories. Yeah, it's worth the money. But I've found that there's this thing that I've kind of nicknamed the Cuban cash grab. For whatever reason, Cuban cigars are more expensive, and I know because of the embargo in the States, but the embargo's been lifted. I live in Canada. You know, they come in through Montreal with everything else, and I don't understand paying the premium for Cuban, especially when Nicaragua, other parts of the Dominican Republic, Honduras, we've even had some Brazilian cigars and some Italian cigars. Like, these countries all bring great tobacco products to the market. So the Cuban being the be-all to end-all, I think is a lot of hype. And it's because of TV and movies and all that stuff. And in the States, it's because of the taboo of Cuban cigars, because they're illegal. I have pre-embargo Cuban cigars. Well, okay. Good for you. Is that going to make that person's smoking experience any better? Probably not, man. You can sit there with a $95,000 cigar on your own at the end of a miserable day, feeling miserable, and your cigar experience isn't any better because of the price of it. That's for sure. My best cigar experiences are with friends. You know, I got this past summer. I was at a friend's house and we all picked up a cigar, went to his place, and me and my one buddy, we've been smoking cigars on and off fairly regularly for a few years. The other guy was brand new to it, so we were like, hey, this is what you should get. And because we had a good palate, we knew it wasn't going to make him sick. He really enjoyed it. He had a very good early cigar experience, and that's the advantage of bringing experience to your hangouts with your friends. Certainly isn't the cost of the cigar. It's the company, or in some cases the lack of company, that makes your cigar experience good. Now, a shitty cigar can ruin any experience, that's for sure. I've had my fair share of shitty cigars. When you're working the budget cigar world, pretty easy to have a shitty cigar, that's for sure. Well, as you can hear, the lawnmowers are kicking up. Things are getting loud. So I'm going to cut this video off here. If you like this content, feel free to like, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. Doesn't really matter to me. Leave an opinion below. Suggest some nice cigars. That I always appreciate. If you got some suggestions in the comments for me, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Whatever you are in between. I ain't judging if you got good taste when it comes to tobacco products. I think you're okay with me. That's for sure. And if you don't subscribe, you don't like, at least do me this favor. Take her fucking easy. I'm gonna smoke this sumbitch right down to the friggin' nub. That's a damn good budget cigar.